It started with whispers, subtle, tense, and full of secrets no one wanted to believe. But now, the whispers have turned into an explosive public feud that's tearing apart friendships, families, and maybe even the entire reality TV world. Princess Love has just come forward with claims that have sent shockwaves through Hollywood. She's blaming Amara La Negra for the downfall of her marriage to Ray J. Yes, that Amara, the outspoken, larger-than-life star known for lighting up every room she walks into, is now being painted as the hidden reason behind one of Love and Hip Hop's most painful celebrity splits. And just when fans thought they'd seen it all, Ray J has broken his silence, and what he said might change everything. Social media is in meltdown mode. Screenshots are flying, clips from old episodes are resurfacing, and the internet is deep diving into every interaction between Amara and Ray J that might have hinted at something more. Was this betrayal brewing right under Princess Love's nose? Or is there something deeper, something darker happening behind the scenes? One thing's for sure, the truth is messier than anyone expected, and the drama is just getting started. Stay with us, because this story is about to explode. Under the soft glow of her phone screen at nearly 2 a.m., Princess Love stared at a string of messages she never thought she'd see. Her hands trembled, her breath caught in her chest, and a wave of nausea crept up her throat. It wasn't just the words on the screen that shattered her, it was the name at the top of the thread, Amara La Negra. The woman she had once smiled with at events, posed beside on red carpets, and even confided in during the lowest points of her marriage. That same woman was now staring back at her through a digital confession, one that could destroy everything. Princess had seen enough. She threw the covers off and sat at the edge of the bed, her mind racing. This wasn't some baseless rumor. This was real. Her heart knew it, and worse, so did her instincts. Ray J had lied. It had started innocently enough. Just a few weeks earlier, Princess had noticed Ray J acting distant. Not the usual kind of celebrity chaos, but something different, like he was somewhere else, mentally checked out. He'd come, home late, always smelling faintly of cologne that wasn't his. There were moments when his phone would ring, and he'd silence it without looking. And each time, Princess Love convinced herself it was work. Appearances, music, business meetings, but deep down, she knew. Her intuition screamed it. And now, with Amara's name popping up in a way that felt far too personal, everything came crashing down. The messages weren't just friendly, they were flirtatious. They were suggestive. One even hinted at a private dinner they had shared while Princess was out of town. "You looked so good that night. I keep thinking about it," read one message from Ray J, followed by a heart emoji. And Amara had replied, "You always make me laugh. We should do it again. Just us." That was the moment Princess snapped. She wasn't going to sit silently anymore. She wasn't going to be the last to know. She wasn't going to let this woman, this so-called friend, destroy what was left of her marriage. By morning, Princess Love had already packed a suitcase. Ray J walked into the house groggy and unbothered, but the fire in Princess's eyes made him stop in his tracks. She didn't yell. She didn't cry. She simply showed him the phone and said, "I know." His face dropped. For the first time in their turbulent relationship, Ray J had no words. No smooth excuse, no deflection, just guilt painted across his face like a confession written in bold. And as she turned away and walked toward the door, he muttered the only thing he could say, "It wasn't like that." But Princess was done listening. The news spread faster than wildfire. The moment Princess posted a cryptic story on Instagram with the words, "Betrayal hurts worse when it's someone you hugged," over a black background, fans immediately knew something was wrong. Speculation ran wild, and it didn't take long before the blogs picked up on the clues. Screenshots of Ray J and Amara's past flirtations resurfaced. An old video clip of the two dancing at a private event went viral again. The comment section exploded. Some fans defended Princess, saying she deserved better. Others were stunned, asking whether Ray J had truly gone behind her back with a close friend. Amara, meanwhile, remained silent. No response, no denial, nothing. Which only added more fuel to the fire. Her silence was deafening. Princess, however, didn't hold back. In an emotional live video that same evening, she finally spoke out. "I trusted her," she said, her voice shaking. "I never thought in a million years that someone I laughed with, who met my children, who looked me in the eye, would be the one sneaking around with my husband behind my back. Fans were left stunned. The live ended abruptly when Princess broke down in tears, unable to speak further. The backlash toward Amara La Negra was immediate. Social media turned into a war zone. Some fans demanded she clear her name, while others called her a homewrecker. Hashtags like Nar Team Princess and Amara Exposed trended for hours, yet Amara still said nothing. Insiders began whispering that her team was working overtime trying to contain the scandal. But damage had already been done. Princess was not just angry. She was heartbroken, and she wanted the world to know. What made it worse was the betrayal wasn't just romantic, it was layered. Sources close to the couple revealed that Princess had actually invited Amara to a private family event just a month before the messages surfaced. She had trusted her enough to hold her children, to sit at her table, to be part of her inner circle. And now that same woman was being accused of secretly stepping into her marriage like a thief in the night. The irony was cruel, the pain unbearable. What fans didn't know was that this had been boiling under the surface for much longer than anyone thought. According to a hairstylist who once worked with both women, there were signs something was off as early as last summer. Amara would always ask if Ray J was coming around. She said, "I thought it was harmless, but the way she asked, it stuck with me." Another insider claimed they saw Amara and Ray J leaving a restaurant together in Miami months ago. They were laughing and real close. I assumed they were doing a show or collab, but now it all makes sense. Back at home, Princess had moved out and taken the kids with her. Friends close to her say she's devastated but strong. She's leaning on her family for support and focusing on healing. She's been through so much already, one source said. This might be her breaking point, but she's not going down without speaking her truth. And the truth, in her eyes, was simple. Amara La Negra crossed the line. Whether it was emotional, physical, or both, something happened that shouldn't have, and Princess was ready to burn it all down if that's what it took to protect her peace. As the dust settled on the first wave of drama, fans were left asking one burning question. Where was Ray J in all this? He hadn't spoken, hadn't posted, hadn't defended himself or denied a thing. It was almost as if he was waiting for the right moment to respond, or maybe trying to figure out what story to stick to. But his silence wasn't helping. In fact, it was making things worse. People wanted answers, and the longer he waited, the more guilty he looked. Just when it seemed like things couldn't get any more dramatic, something else dropped. A new piece of evidence. One that would take this scandal to an entirely new level and leave fans even more shocked than before. A blurry video clip began circulating on social media late that night. The timestamp was from 3 weeks ago, and the setting appeared to be a cozy rooftop lounge in downtown Los Angeles. In the footage, Ray J and Amara La Negra were seated side by side, laughing over drinks. At one point, Ray J leaned in, whispered something in her ear, and she playfully pushed his shoulder while blushing. It didn't look like a business meeting. It didn't look like two friends catching up. It looked like intimacy. The kind that doesn't belong to a married man. The internet erupted. Fans began screen recording, reposting, and reacting in real time. Even celebrities started chiming in, with one well-known reality TV star tweeting, "Loyalty doesn't exist anymore. This is wild." Suddenly, the scandal had reached a new level of visibility, and it was spiraling out of control. As the video gained traction, Princess Love posted a single emoji to her Instagram story. A broken heart. No words, no explanation. But that was all it took to confirm what the world already suspected. She had seen the footage. Within hours, major gossip blogs were running headlines suggesting Ray J had been caught red-handed, and Amara was right in the center of it. The betrayal felt real, raw, and public. Fans who once adored Amara were now questioning her character, her values, and her intentions. And as for Ray J, the once beloved entertainer was being dragged across every platform for what many saw as a pattern of disrespect. Finally, the silence was broken, but not by Ray J. Instead, it was Amara La Negra who posted first. A soft, filtered video of her sitting in a dimly lit room, her tone serious, her eyes tired. "I know what's going on out there," she said quietly, "and I need y'all to understand something. There are always two sides to every story. She paused, took a deep breath, and continued. What y'all saw was a moment taken out of context. I have nothing but love for Princess, and I would never intentionally hurt her. But what's happening now? This hate? It's getting ugly. She didn't directly deny the allegations, nor did she confirm them. It was a carefully worded message that left people even more confused than before. The response to Amara's video was mixed. Some fans called it damage control. Others felt she was being unfairly vilified, but most agreed on one thing: it didn't clear her name. In fact, it made the situation murkier. Within minutes of the video going live, Princess went live on her own page, this time not holding back. Context? She scoffed. How do you explain touching my husband's hand, laughing with him like that, going behind my back? There is no context that makes that okay. And the worst part? You couldn't even say sorry. Her voice cracked. You were in my house. You played with my kids. And now you want to play victim? It was raw, unfiltered, and filled with rage. Thousands watched live, sending hearts and comments filled with support and disbelief. Meanwhile, insiders began revealing more behind-the-scenes chaos. One crew member from a recent show, Amara and Ray J, were allegedly filming together, claimed that the chemistry between them was undeniable on set. They'd laugh between takes, share private jokes, people noticed. It wasn't subtle. The crew member added that Princess had visited the set once and left early, visibly uncomfortable. You could tell she felt something was off, they said. And now, looking back, we all see it. Ray J, still radio silent, was now facing immense pressure to address the scandal. Fans flooded his comments, demanding answers. His name began trending on Twitter alongside phrases like cheater and coward. But behind the scenes, things were even more chaotic. Sources close to the family revealed that Princess had refused all communication with him since leaving. She had blocked his number, refused to return his calls, and was considering legal options to protect her children from further public embarrassment. She's not just hurt, one source shared. She's humiliated. She trusted him with her heart, and he played her like she was disposable. The situation took another turn when an anonymous tipster sent screenshots to a major gossip site, messages allegedly between Ray J and an unnamed friend. In them, Ray J reportedly wrote, "She's making a big deal out of nothing. Me and Amara, we're just cool. Princess always overreacts." That single message, if real, shattered any hope of reconciliation. The comment section under the leak exploded. "Gaslighting 101, one user wrote. Another added, "If you're married, being just cool with someone like that is disrespectful. Period." The internet wasn't buying his excuses. Back. In Miami, Amara was reportedly staying out of the public eye, avoiding press, and limiting her social media activity. But damage control wasn't working. Major sponsors had started distancing themselves, pulling out of deals quietly. A popular beauty brand that had signed with her just months ago suddenly removed all her promotional content. And while they didn't publicly comment, fans knew why. The scandal had begun affecting her brand. Princess, on the other hand, was gaining public sympathy. Despite the heartbreak, many saw her as a woman reclaiming her power. In another live video, she spoke with clarity and conviction. "I'm not perfect. I've made mistakes, but I never deserved this," she said. "I gave that man everything, and I never thought a woman I trusted would be the one to ruin it." She also made a chilling remark that hinted at a deeper betrayal. "There's things I haven't even told y'all yet. Things that would make you sick." The comment sent fans into a frenzy, begging for more details and speculating wildly. Rumors swirled about private investigators, hidden audio recordings, and even an alleged confrontation between Princess and Amara at an off-camera event weeks before the scandal exploded. One witness claimed they saw the two women in a heated exchange at a luxury brunch spot in Los Angeles. Princess got in her face. She looked betrayed, like she had been punched in the gut, and Amara, she just stood there, frozen. No footage of the incident surfaced, but the story alone was enough to keep the internet talking. As the dust from the second wave of drama began to settle, one thing was clear. The truth wasn't just about one dinner, one message, or one video. This was deeper, more tangled, and now, the only voice missing from this firestorm was Ray J's. Fans everywhere were watching, waiting, and wondering. Would he finally speak? And if he did, would it make anything better or only make it worse? What came next would change everything. Because just as everyone thought the worst had been exposed, A new leak was about to drop, one that would put Ray J in the center of an even darker twist and send shockwaves through the entire love and hip-hop universe. The third wave of chaos hit when a mysterious voicemail leaked online, allegedly from Ray J himself. The audio was shaky, clearly recorded in a hurry, and laced with tension. In it, Ray J's voice could be heard arguing with someone. While the other voice was hard to identify, what Ray J said was unmistakable. "I told you to keep this quiet. Why would you show her the messages? You promised me this wouldn't blow up." The internet exploded. If authentic, this wasn't just confirmation of contact between him and Amara. It was a desperate attempt to cover it up. Fans were stunned. The clip racked up over 2 million plays in under 4 hours. Bloggers dissected every second, enhancing audio, speculating about the identity of the second voice, and pointing out every shift in tone. Many believed the person he was arguing with was Amara herself. And if that was true, then it proved that not only had something happened, it had been hidden, manipulated, and now unraveling in the public eye. The betrayal was no longer rumor, it was reality, and Princess Love's heartbreak had just been validated in front of the entire world. Princess responded within hours, not with another live, but with a long, emotional post. "I prayed for peace. I begged for honesty. But you gave me pain and lies," she wrote. "I hope you both find whatever you were looking for, but it's not going to be at the expense of my dignity anymore." The comments flooded with support. Celebrities like Tamar Braxton and K. Michelle dropped heart emojis and comments like, "We got you, sis, and stay strong." It wasn't just drama now. It was a full-blown cultural moment, and Princess was at the center, rising from the ashes of her marriage, while the other two drowned in their own scandal. Amara, on the other hand, finally broke her silence again. But this time it was far from polished. She went live, makeup-free, visibly stressed, and nearly in tears. "Y'all don't know what I've been through," she began. "I never meant to hurt anyone. I didn't expect things to go like this. I didn't mean to catch feelings. It just happened." The confession left viewers speechless. Was she admitting it? Was she saying there was something more between her and Ray J? The comment section exploded with fire emojis and broken hearts. Some fans showed compassion, saying, "She looked broken." Others called it manipulation. "Don't cry now. You knew what you were doing." One comment read. In that same live, Amara revealed a stunning detail. "It wasn't just one time," she said, voice trembling. "I tried to end it, but he kept coming back." That sentence hit like a punch to the gut. Not only was she admitting an emotional affair, possibly more, but she was placing the blame back on Ray J, implying he had pursued her repeatedly, despite her reservations. It reframed the narrative. Some viewers began asking whether Ray J had manipulated both women, Princess with lies and Amara with false promises. At this point, Ray J could no longer stay silent. The pressure was too intense, the evidence too overwhelming. He went live on his page for the first time since the scandal erupted. The setting was quiet, just him, staring into the camera with tired eyes. "I ain't perfect," he started. "I've made a lot of mistakes in my life, but I never wanted to hurt the people I love." He tried to explain things as complicated, claiming that he and Princess had already been on the rocks and that his connection with Amara wasn't planned. "We vibed, yeah, but it wasn't supposed to be like that," he said. He paused, then added something that made everything worse. "Sometimes, when you don't feel appreciated at home, you find comfort somewhere else." The backlash was immediate. Fans flooded the comments, accusing him of deflecting and blaming Princess. "Gaslighting again," one viewer wrote. Others couldn't believe he went live just to justify infidelity with self-pity. Within minutes, the clip went viral, shared by every gossip page and reaction channel on YouTube and TikTok. Princess went live one last time that night. Her energy was calm, composed, but cold. "I see now," she said, "that some men will lie with a straight face and then expect you to carry the weight of their betrayal. I'm not that woman anymore. I'm done saving face for a man who's never saved me." Her words echoed across social media. It wasn't just a clapback, it was a declaration of independence. But just as the dust began to settle again, a new player entered the mix. Ray J's sister, Brandy. In a now-deleted post, she shared a cryptic message that read, "Some people never loved you. They just loved what you did for them." The comment section immediately lit up. Was she referring to Princess, to Amara, or maybe even to her own? "Brother!" Fans demanded clarity, but Brandy stayed quiet, refusing to add fuel to the fire. Meanwhile, more allegations surfaced. A former assistant of Ray J leaked alleged details of private conversations, including one where Ray J reportedly said, "Amara don't mean nothing. She was just there when I needed to vent." The betrayal deepened. If Amara believed their connection had been real, then these words painted a picture of manipulation and ego, not romance. Suddenly, Amara's pain seemed more justified, while Ray J looked even more like a calculated player caught red-handed. The final blow came from a recording, an alleged sit-down meeting between all three parties that had taken place weeks before. The public scandal erupted. In the clip, Princess is heard saying, "Just tell me the truth so I can walk away with my head up." Amara, holding back tears, replies, "I didn't want to fall for him, but it wasn't all on me." And Ray J, sighing deeply, ends the clip with, "I wish I could undo it all." The internet was shook. It wasn't just speculation anymore. It was confirmation. Raw, messy, painful, and undeniably real. Fans began using the hashtag #NotProtectPrincess, calling for brand endorsements and support for her, while simultaneously calling for accountability from Ray J and Amara. It wasn't about a love triangle anymore. It had become a lesson in betrayal, boundaries, and public healing. As the story continued to unravel, one truth became clear. This wasn't just another reality TV scandal. It was a real, heartbreaking collapse of trust, played out in front of millions, and it was far from over. Because behind the scenes, legal teams were now involved, contracts were being reviewed, and producers were already planning the next reunion episode that fans were sure would be the most explosive yet. And just when everyone thought they'd seen the worst of it, another anonymous tip arrived, claiming there was one more twist still hidden. Something that would take the betrayal to a level no one saw coming. The anonymous tip hit the inbox of a major gossip site just before dawn. The subject line simply read, "She was pregnant." Attached was a screenshot of a conversation allegedly between Amara La Negra and one of her close friends. The message, time-stamped weeks before the public scandal erupted, read, "I didn't plan this. I swear I didn't. But now I don't know what to do. What if it's his?" The friend replied, "You need to take a test. You can't hide this. Forever." The screenshot was blurry but enough to get the internet spiraling into chaos. Fans froze. Influencers went live. Hashtags exploded. If what they were seeing was true, then this wasn't just betrayal. It was a full-blown disaster. Questions started flooding every comment section. Was Amara pregnant with Ray J's child? Had this already been handled behind closed doors? Did Princess know? Was this the real reason she finally walked away? Within hours, the story had broken beyond the love and hip-hop audience and was trending across celebrity news platforms, podcasts, and even morning radio shows. And while some were skeptical of the leak's authenticity, most believed it. Because in the world of celebrity drama, where there's smoke, there's almost always fire. Ray J's silence after the new leak spoke volumes. Insiders say his team immediately went into panic mode, calling up media contacts and begging them not to publish the story until they could verify the facts. But it was too late. The damage was done. People had already made up their minds. And Princess? She posted a single word to her story. Enough. It was clear that whatever restraint she'd been holding onto had finally snapped, and the fans were right behind her, with thousands tagging her and posting messages of support. Amara La Negra, after the screenshots began to circulate, vanished from social media. No posts, no stories, nothing. Some claimed she was hospitalized for stress. Others said she was holed up in a luxury hotel in Miami, trying to figure out her next move. But nobody really knew. And that silence made the speculation louder. Bloggers began reposting her old interviews, dissecting past moments for clues. In one clip from just 2 months ago, she'd said, "I've been feeling off lately. Like, something big is coming." At the time, people thought she meant a career shift. Now they weren't so sure. Princess, meanwhile, began making moves of her own. She sat down with a major black media outlet for an exclusive interview. Her first since the divorce rumors began. Dressed in all white, with soft lighting behind her and tears in her eyes, She laid it all out. "I gave him years," she said, voice cracking. "I gave him children. I gave him loyalty. And what did I get? Secrets. Lies. And now, possibly a baby with someone I trusted in my own home." She paused. "You don't come back from that." The interview went viral instantly. Fans rallied behind her, using her clips as audio on TikTok, creating edits, and calling her the face of strength. But the story didn't stop there. During that same interview, Princess dropped another bombshell, one that no one saw coming. "There's a fourth person," she said, "someone who saw everything, who's been quiet this whole time. And if they speak, the truth will destroy everything." Fans immediately started speculating. Was it a housekeeper, a friend, a security guard, someone on set? Princess didn't say, but she didn't have to. The mystery alone was enough to reignite the scandal with full force. Within 24 hours, an anonymous blog posted a blind item that seemed to connect the dots. It described a bodyguard who had been working for the couple at the time and had recordings of conversations between Ray J and Amara that proved they were more than friends. And even worse, the blog hinted that a confrontation between Princess and Amara had been recorded, and that tape might leak next. Fans lost their minds. Now everyone was waiting for the tape, like it was a blockbuster movie about to drop. At midnight, Ray J's camp scrambled to control the narrative. A source close to Ray J spoke to a tabloid claiming that the pregnancy rumors were a complete fabrication and that Ray J hadn't been in contact with Amara for months. But no one was buying it. Not after all that had already come out. And certainly not after Princess hinted that there was still more to be revealed. At this point, his image had taken a massive hit, and every move he made looked like damage control. What made things even more surreal was how the public turned the scandal into content. Memes, reaction videos, parody skits, it all flooded the internet. But beneath the entertainment, there was real hurt. Fans who had followed Princess's journey for years watched her fight for her family on screen and seen her break down more times than they could count were now watching her rebuild herself. And they wanted justice. For some, that meant Amara, owning up fully. For others, it meant Ray J facing real consequences, not just internet backlash, but public accountability. The moment everyone had been waiting for finally came when the so-called tape dropped. It was leaked by a small blog with no warning, just a link and the words, "You didn't hear this from us." The video was grainy, clearly taken from a distance, but the audio was clear. It showed Princess confronting Amara at what appeared to be a luxury hotel hallway. Her voice, calm but deadly, cut through the silence. "How long has this been going on?" she asked. Amara stood still, visibly shaken. "I didn't mean for it to happen," she replied. "It just happened." And then came the line that would become a viral soundbite. "You didn't mean to fall for my husband? Then who did you mean to fall for?" Fans replayed the clip 1,000 times. The moment was raw, unscripted, and heartbreaking. Princess didn't scream. She didn't hit. She simply walked away. And in that walk, viewers saw the end of an era, of a woman done being hurt, done being played, and done staying quiet. Within hours of the video leaking, Amara released a statement through her rep. Amara La Negra regrets the pain caused to all parties involved and will be taking time away from the public eye to reflect and heal. It was short, cold, and clearly crafted by lawyers. But fans weren't buying it. They wanted more. They wanted accountability. They wanted the truth. As the chaos reached a boiling point, fans were left with more questions than answers. Was there really a baby? Was the bodyguard going to speak? Would Ray J and Amara ever publicly face Princess together? And more importantly, was this the final chapter or just the beginning of an even darker twist? Because behind the scenes, producers were now pitching reunion specials, streaming deals, and even a tell-all documentary. And while some wanted the truth for closure, others smelled opportunity. In Hollywood, heartbreak is currency. And this scandal, it was worth millions. As Hollywood scrambled to monetize the mess, a major network quietly began production on a limited docuseries titled Broken Vows: The Princess Love Betrayal. The pitch? An unfiltered deep dive into the scandal that rocked reality TV to its core. The producers promised exclusive interviews, never-before-seen footage, and a sit-down that fans had been begging for. Princess, Amara, and Ray J in the same room. It was being promoted as the most explosive reunion in television history. And the buzz? Absolutely nuclear. While the cameras were getting ready to roll, things off camera were spiraling even faster. Rumors started circulating that Princess had filed a restraining order, not against Ray J, but against one of his associates who allegedly tried to contact her in the middle of the night. Insiders close to Princess say she felt unsafe and believed people were trying to silence her. The drama was no longer just emotional, it had become dangerous. Her team increased her security detail. The paparazzi followed her every move. And the pressure to tell her side before someone else twisted the narrative was mounting. In a private meeting with producers, Princess reportedly laid out her terms. She would appear on camera only if she could speak uninterrupted, and only if no one tried to water down the truth. She wanted to expose it all, not just what happened with Amara, but the years of silent suffering, emotional manipulation, and betrayal she had endured behind closed doors. She was no longer interested in saving face. She wanted justice. And then came another bombshell. Legal notice leaked online showing that Ray J and Amara La Negra had both received subpoenas to appear in court over undisclosed relationship matters tied to the breakdown of Ray J's marriage. Fans immediately speculated this meant the rumored pregnancy was now part of a legal investigation. Some blogs claimed Princess was pursuing custody changes. Others said it had to do with financial arrangements and breach of contract over prenup clauses. Either way, it proved the situation had escalated far beyond drama. It was now a legal war. While the media circus raged, Ray J finally sat down for a one-on-one interview on a streaming platform. Dressed in a black hoodie, sunglasses on, trying to look remorseful, he began by saying, "I never meant to hurt her, but I wasn't happy either." He talked about feeling neglected, about how the pressures of fame and marriage had drained him. But once again, he fumbled. "If the baby turns out to be mine, I'll do what I gotta do," he said flatly. Fans were furious. The lack of emotion, the casual tone, the refusal to take real responsibility. Even the interviewer looked uncomfortable. Clips from the interview circulated rapidly, with fans posting reaction videos, parodies, and tearful responses. Princess, however, stayed silent. For now. Her silence was intentional, calculated. She was waiting for the cameras. And when she finally did speak, she planned to bury every lie 6 feet deep. According to leaked production notes, the sit-down special was already being titled Truth and Trauma. It promised confrontations, apologies, and possibly more revelations. That could shift everything once again. But just days before filming, Amara La Negra resurfaced, and not with a statement. Instead, she posted a photo of herself at a medical clinic. No caption, just a location tag that read Private Wellness Center. The image showed her holding what looked like ultrasound documents. Fans lost their minds. Was this confirmation? Was the baby real? Was it Ray J's? The post was deleted within minutes, but not before screenshots spread like wildfire. Producers scrambled. Sources say Princess was blindsided, and that the reveal nearly led to her pulling out of the reunion special. But after a night of closed-door meetings and negotiations, she agreed to proceed, with one new condition. She wanted a full segment dedicated to her reading her truth, uninterrupted, on camera. A personal statement that would go viral, and the network said yes. Filming began the next day. The reunion special opened with a dramatic voiceover. What began as love ended in betrayal. 3 lives, 1 truth, and 100 million broken hearts watching it unfold. The set was styled like a courtroom. Dark lighting, cold chairs, tension thick enough to slice with a knife. Princess entered first, dressed, in a sleek black gown, no makeup, eyes raw but fierce. Then came Amara, visibly emotional, holding herself together. And finally, Ray J, looking every bit like a man trying not to fall apart. The first 30 minutes were quiet, awkward, intense. Then the questions started. The host asked Ray J point blank, "Did you cheat on Princess with Amara?" Ray J hesitated. "I got close to the line. Yeah, too close." Gasps. Princess didn't flinch. Amara lowered her head. Then came the second question. "Did you know he was still in love with Princess?" Amara looked up, tears in her eyes. "He told me they were done. He said she had moved on." I believed him. Princess scoffed. So why were you still showing? Up at my house? The tension snapped like a rubber band. Voices rose. Emotions exploded. Security stepped in once, twice. Then came the reading. Princess pulled out a folded letter and read aloud. To the woman who sat at my dinner table and laughed with my children, I hope it was worth it. To the man who promised me forever, I forgive you, but never again. I won't be your backup plan. I won't be your safety net, and I won't be your silence. The room went quiet. Even Ray J was speechless. The special ended on a cliffhanger. A teaser showed Princess walking off set and a producer saying, "We have confirmation. She's keeping the baby." The screen faded to black. Fans went wild. Social media exploded. The scandal had come full circle, but nothing felt resolved. In fact, the final line of the episode left everyone breathless. What happens next? Depends on what Amara tells the court, because the drama wasn't over. It was just getting started. By the end of the week, Princess's team confirmed she had secured a publishing deal, a wellness brand expansion, and a production partnership with a major network. She was no longer a supporting role in someone else's chaos. She was the Iwa main character of her own redemption arc. And just when the cameras stopped rolling, just when it seemed like the saga had truly reached its end, a rumor surfaced. Quiet, unconfirmed, but loud enough to spark whispers. Amara might be returning to TV, not for a reunion, not for a tell-all, but for her own show. And this time, she wasn't coming back as the other woman. She was coming back as the woman who survived. And if that rumor turns out to be true, Hollywood better buckle up, because round 2 might just hit harder than the first. If you've made it this far, you already know. This wasn't just another celebrity scandal. This was betrayal, heartbreak, silence, and survival playing out in front of millions. But more than that, it was real. A real woman finding the strength to walk away. A real friendship torn apart by secrets. And a real reminder that no matter how perfect things look on the surface, the truth always finds a way to rise. So now we want to hear from you. Do you believe Princess Love made the right choice by walking away? Was Amara La Negra truly at fault? Or was she caught in something deeper than we understand? And what about Ray J? Was he just a lost man making mistakes? Or was this a calculated pattern of emotional manipulation? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Every opinion counts, and this story is far from over. New truths could emerge tomorrow, and your voice helps shape the conversation. Make sure to like this video if you are just as shocked as the rest of us. Subscribe if you want more deep dives, raw breakdowns, and unapologetic storytelling that goes beyond the headlines. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you never miss the next chapter, because in this world of fame, secrets, and shattered loyalty, you never know who's going to be exposed next.